itself, there is no more updates. But yeah, there's no more updates on any of the TikTok live. So I think that's also going to affect why the internet connection is so bad. So I don't think I'm going to be able to stay. I don't think I'm going to be able to stay on TikTok because the internet. Yeah, see right there, it keeps disconnecting. So I'm going to try to stay on TikTok maybe, but if I have to click on that load button too many times, I'm just going to get off. But I am on TikTok now. I'm on YouTube. Now let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. Um, let's go over. Well, let's kind of reset, and let's first. I need to share. Good morning, everybody. I don't say that enough. I think everybody's in the room. I think we're just missing one person. All right, I am going to be reaching out to everybody. Um, the only room, the only room that I know is correct is this room, my actual value hunter room. Um, I'm going to be taking the whole week, moving people out of one room, deleting rooms. And I have a room called the Cheetah Trading Room. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that sometime today and tomorrow. I'm gonna load everybody in that Cheetah Trading Room. Every single one of my students. I have them all saved in a group on my phone. So today I'm gonna load up everybody into that room, um, so I can talk directly to you guys as a whole, like every single student, because right now I got you all broken up into different rooms. So I'm gonna create, not create. I've already created the Cheetah Trading Room. And my goal is to put every single person that is a student, past and present, into that room. So if I have announcements or anything that I want to deliver, I can do it in that room. So if you guys see me load you into the Cheetah Trading Room, I'm letting you know what it is. You're just in the room with all of the other previous students. And I think even the ones that have taken webinars and workshops, I'm putting them in that room as well. And that's going to allow me to offer one-on-ones, offer, the master class, offer anything like that, anything that I have to offer. Because I told you guys, I absolutely hate doing email blasts and email blasts. But if I can go back and get all of my students and load them into WhatsApp, I can just basically send them the information in WhatsApp. That eliminates me having to do email blasts and text message blasts. So I'm most likely going to load you guys into that room with everybody else. But if you're already a part of what I offer, then just ignore it. But I will be doing that over the next couple of days. All right. TikTok got one more time to disconnect me. And we're going to go ahead and close it out. Good morning, Steve. All right, Steve left. I still think I'm going to close out. All right, so let me load up. I basically want to load up the charts. Let's go to TradingView. Yeah, goodbye, TikTok. I'm not playing with you guys. I can't do it. And I don't know why I keep trying. I think this might be my last day trying to do TikTok. The internet connection just keeps dropping every 10 seconds. I gotta treat TikTok like it doesn't exist anymore. Um, that was my bread and butter for 2 years, so it's kind of hard to break that cycle. All right, let's go to TradingView. Let's look at the markets. Let's look at the price action. Let's see where we are. All right. Today is the 24th. No, today is the 4th. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Let me do a 1 day. Oh, there we go. Oh, February 4th. So this morning around midnight, market fell around midnight. Let me see the range. 44.5, basically 44.6. Market fell down to 44. 4. So about 200 points, 150, 200 point drop around midnight. Tried to recover, kind of went into kind of like I wouldn't call this consolidation. I would call it a channel. So it kind of went into a channel a little bit. And here we are at current market price. So you know me, I like to see what 2 o'clock looks like. 2 o'clock right here. That was a 130 rally. 2 o'clock kind of went even. 3 o'clock fell. Another 330 fall. So the whole 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock was just nothing but a bear trend, bear rally. Then around 4 o'clock, we got another rally, and then once again we're in another channel. All right, and now we're waiting for the 8:30 future markets to open. So this is what I do, guys. Every morning, I kind of want to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Just go back to about 2 o'clock. Like, I don't know why the midnight drop happened. It's up to you if you want to go find out why. But I'm just going to go. I usually start around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is when because 2 o'clock is when the European markets open. So I usually look at from 2 o'clock and I can kind of get a gauge on the sentiment of and what I'm looking for is a consistent sentiment. Um, so from 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, even 7 o'clock. What is the markets doing on the hour? All right. Once again, on the hour, how is the markets moving? At 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And if every hour you see a pattern of the market going one way like this, you don't see that, right? You see 3 o'clock it fell. Even 2 o'clock was kind of sideways. 3 o'clock fell. 4 o'clock went up. You see what I'm saying? So it's very inconsistent. So, but if you can find a market where every single on the hour, the market kind of goes up a little bit, the next hour, it goes up a little bit. If you can find that consistent upward trend, even a downward trend, you just want the consistency. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you a gauge on how the regular markets are going to happen at 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and even the rest of the day. So if you can find that consistency in the morning, especially starting in the European markets, there's a high probability it's going to maintain that sentiment, that direction, and that range, kind of moving forward. So today is not a very consistent day. So even by this, unless something changes at the 8:30 and the 9 o'clock, I'm probably not even considering trading this today. But I do want to start off here and see where we are to see, what the sentiment of the markets is. Now, the only thing we have to worry about this week when it comes to the economic events, here's the calendar. I want to make sure you guys can see this. So the only thing we got to worry about today on the calendar, and this is the week that I trade the labor, and I want to show it to you. So we have the job openings today at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow we have the ADP employment at 8:15. Thursday we have the jobless claims at 8:30. And if you guys have been with me long enough, you already know where I'm going with this. I teach you guys, don't trade these other events. If you want to, if you need the money, if you're sure about what you're going to do, you really only need to know the first one, right? So watch what happens. Do your analysis, go to the cheat sheet in the course, look up the job openings, look up all the metrics for labor, and kind of figure out. And then just let this announcement today at 10 o'clock, let that announcement come out, and you know what's going to happen the rest of the week. So if you did want to trade the ADP on Wednesday, if you did want to trade the initial job claims on Thursday, then you already know what it's going to be. So you really can trade the other three. And then what I look for is to trade the unemployment rate on Friday. But you can literally trade the other three if you want. You got 3 opportunities on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to trade the labor. Because once you get the understanding of what's going to happen on Tuesday, today, with the job openings, you kind of already know what the rest of the announcements are going to be. Now, the reason why I say I don't trade it, because I find that some of them don't give the momentum that I'm looking for. I want strong momentum. And I know that Friday is going to give me the strong momentum. It's hit or miss sometimes throughout the week. But I know, consistently I always get the unemployment rate is usually the one that gives the huge momentum, especially on a Friday. So sometimes if I'm busy with other trades, if I'm busy with other analysis, if I'm busy doing other things, then I'll just save all of my capital and just trade that one event. Because remember what we said yesterday about competence. If we're not sure, we don't trade it. So I'm not gonna guess what's gonna happen Wednesday, Thursday when I know Friday's gonna be guaranteed. All right, but once again, I don't know your situation. I don't know your aversion. I don't know your style. If you want to attempt to trade the Wednesday and the Thursday and the Friday, by all means. But I usually wait for that Friday. It's the best opportunity that's out there. So that's all we got to do. I do have it on the calendar. If you notice, I have my Friday eco unemployment on the calendar. I've already added it. So probably that Thursday, we're going to go over that. We're going to go over the previous announcements for the week and see if we can guarantee that trade. Because I did tell you, we're going to go over the economic events to give you guys an opportunity to make money. All right. That's what this is all about. All of my students in the Zoom. And I'm broadcasting right now. So anybody that's on YouTube can do the same thing. All right. That's the whole point of this. Get every student to make money. All right. And then as we're going through the challenge and going through the master class, we're helping you guys to develop, get everything ready, so you guys can really benefit from this. So even if you are not prepared to trade money right now, then you simulate it. Simulate, simulate, simulate. Even going through the first 30 days, even as we're setting up, since you guys already got that head start, as we're going through these economic events, then go ahead and simulate that. And then, like I said, you'll be extra prepared when we get into the second sequence, the second 30 days. All right, so there's that. I knew I had some current events. I can't think of them right now. Let me go ahead and exit out some of these. I'm going to put you over here. Um, let's just go look it up. Let's look up any current events. Not YouTube. We're going to look up I usually use Yahoo Finance. And let's see what news articles we have for the day. Oh, that's what it was. The trade wars. So Trump decided yesterday that he was going to impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Well, after they met, I guess they met um, after hours, and they came up with a I guess a understanding and agreement that that Trump said he's gonna pause on the tariffs for 30 days. And then I guess we're gonna revisit it. But right now there is no tariff war. Now the 10% on China is still in place, but the 25% tariffs uh on Canada and Mexico is on pause for now. And I've given my rendition of this. I've given my commentary that it's been such a strong relationship. But the trade agreement that we have, the NAFTA trade agreement that we have with Mexico and Canada, is probably one of the most strongest and the most lucrative, in the world. So starting a trade war, if for me it doesn't make sense, and I guess that's what the conversation was. Mexico and Canada had to convince Trump like this is not beneficial for anybody, because the only people that's going to suffer are the citizens, because we've already established yesterday is that the consumer are the people that's really going to pay for this. The consumers are the people that's going to come out of pocket because the trade war is going to cause the taxes on the tariff to be applied to the supply chain. The corporation is just going to, take the expense and increase the price of the product. So the person that's going to pay for the tariff is the consumer. And what's going to happen is that um, as Trump puts in that tariff, the U.S. consumer is going to pay for it. And now to respond, because that's just how geopolitics work, Canada has an obligation to respond with their own tariffs. And then guess who suffers with that? The Canadian citizens, the Canadians consumers. And like I said, and now the Mexican consumers. So it doesn't benefit anybody. You are affecting the North American economy on three different countries for some trade war that's not needed. So I'm hoping that that was the conversation that they had. I hope Trump listened to reason. I already told you he's not that intelligent. I don't know what his thinking is, but something happened in that discussion where they paused for 30 days because Trump is not going to admit that he's wrong. He's not going to admit, oh yeah, now I see it from a different angle. You're right, I'm wrong. That's never going to come out of his mouth. But he did, for whatever reason, he did say he was going to pause on the trade war, which is good news, at least for consumers and the markets, because that's why the markets are doing what they're doing, because these corporations are trying to factor in revenue, profits. Um, so hopefully with the pause on the tariffs, the stock market will be a little bit more calm. The stock market will be a little bit more bullish. But I think that's the one major current event that I wanted to mention. I don't see anything else. Let me see. Yeah, I think that might be it. All right. If you guys got any thoughts, comments, questions, put it in the comments or you can unmute yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and do the um, the 30-day challenge. We're gonna go ahead and go into that. Let me go ahead and load this up. Okay, so today is the second day of our 30-day challenge. And today we're gonna focus on trading psychology. All right. Now, once again, we know that every single thing in our curriculum, and specifically everything in the 30-day challenge, everything in the 90-day masterclass, we are taking the advice from billionaire traders. And if they're not billionaire, they're multimillionaires. And if they're in addition to being millionaires and billionaires, some of them are training and coaching the billionaires. And that's who Brett Steenbarger is. Brett Steenbarger is a professor of psychology, well-renowned trading coach. He coaches the best of the best. All right. And here's what he says. He says, it is when we push the boundaries of the familiar and comfortable that we discover aspects of ourselves that reshape who we are at our best. This is the point of focusing on your trading psychology, pushing the boundaries of who you are. All right. We're going to get into finding your traits, finding your abilities, finding your triggers, positive and negative. And then we want to accent our strengths and turn our weaknesses into strengths. So let's show you how to do this. So the daily assignment is to perform a character assessment of your trading traits. So you're going to identify what your strengths and weaknesses are. You also will continue to assess yourself over time, over the 30-day challenge, over the 90-day masterclass, and even going into your trading career. You're going to continuously be assessing your strengths and your weaknesses. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I do better? All right. And I want you to monitor it, because if you see yourself retracing, taking on some of your old qualities, developing bad habits in the middle of your development, you got to recognize it and nip it in the bud as quick as possible. All right. But you definitely wanted to perform a character assessment. Now, I do have a worksheet for my subscribers. I will be posting that worksheet inside of the masterclass today. And anybody that wants to join the masterclass, reach out to me, and I can get you all of these additional worksheets and videos as well. But I will be posting that sometime today where you guys can do your character assessment. And if you have any questions, just come back into the masterclass room, and then I can answer any questions you have. All right. So first step, you want to identify strengths and weaknesses. Once again, quoting the billionaire traders. Warren Buffett says, first, understand your strengths and weaknesses, and then devise a simple strategy that you can that where you can sleep at night. Let's say it for you again. First, understand your strengths and weaknesses, and then devise a simple strategy so that you can sleep at night. This is what that worksheet that I'm going to be posting in the masterclass room is for you to find out what your strengths are, find out what your weaknesses are, and then we're going to help you develop that simple strategy that we can strengthen our strengths and turn our weaknesses into strengths. All right. Step 2, we want to apply our strengths to our trading abilities. So initially, identify 5 traits that you possess, and then think of specific ways on how you can utilize them in your trading, your daily trading, your trading routine. Find out where you can take those 5 qualities. Some of you have a strong attention span. Some of you don't. Some of you have a level of quickly absorbing information. Some of you, it may take a little bit longer. All right. So some of you may be really organized. Some of you may not be. So like I said, find out 5 particular traits that can benefit your trading, and then find out where you can apply that in your trading routine, and your trade craft. All right. And then once again, now we got to focus on our weaknesses, right? So now step 3, we want to remove the triggers from our trading routine. All right. There will be tasks in your trading routine, and your trading routine is just basically start to finish. I do this first, I do this second, I do this third, and you go through the routine. Now we have a routine, right? We initialize, we organize, we analyze, we strategize, we optimize, we realize, and we incentivize, right? All these 7 stages of our routine. We're not going to get into that anytime soon. That is for later on, but we do have a routine. And then once again, if you are a student of my community, you're going to learn those routines. If you have the course, you're going to be able to learn those routines. But in that routine, you're going to be able, or not be able to, you're going to be able to find the triggers, and you're going to be able to remove them. All right. So once again, there will be tasks in your trading routine that will trigger you. Everyone has different triggers. Everyone was brought up differently. Now, how do we combat those triggers? Deep breathing and meditation. If you incorporate deep breathing, especially at the moment when you see the trigger, when you see that you're getting anxious, you're getting nervous, you're getting fearful, take a moment, even while you're in the trade. Just take a deep breath, because you should have already done your analysis. You should have already prepped for the trade. So there's no need for you to have those triggers, but it may still develop. So while you're in the trade, or while you're going through the motion of that experience, take a deep breath. Calm yourself down. Remember what you're going through. Remember remember your confidence and your competence that you established yesterday. Remember, yesterday, day 1, we established our competence and our confidence. So think about this. If you have the competence, if you have the confidence, you shouldn't be triggered. You shouldn't be nervous and anxious and fearful. You shouldn't be reactive. So once again, you can now, the next time, after you get out of the trade, meditate. Let's see what I can do where I'm not going to be triggered next time. So once again, deep breathing and meditation is how you're going to stop your stressful reactions and give you a moment to think more clearly. By separating yourself from the event that causes the emotional reaction, you can eliminate the trigger altogether. And this is not going to happen overnight. All right. You got to keep practicing the routine, keep recognizing the trigger, keep going through the deep breathing, keep meditating on how you can minimize the trigger or eliminate it. Now, I also have a solution on how to eliminate the trigger, but once again, that's for another presentation. All right. But that's step 3 on how to remove those kind of negative emotions or those triggers. Now, the secret of character assessment. The secret is to a good character assessment is to make the most of your unique qualities, your aptitudes and qualities to propel your trading success while simultaneously strengthening your areas of weakness so that they become strengths as well. And believe me, I'm going to be walking you through and showing all my students, all my subscribers how to do this. All right. Now, I want to encourage everybody as we go through this 30-day course. If you're not a part of the student room, if you're not a part of the 90-day masterclass, if you're not a part of the subscription, I do encourage everybody to join. All right. The 30-day challenge is free, but I'm hoping that I can take everybody through the 30-day challenge, get everybody ready, get everybody prepped, and then bring more people to participate in that 90-day challenge, because we're going through everything, start to finish, and you will not be the same trader at the end of the 90 days. So hopefully you guys are encouraged to join that. I want to wish everybody success in their journey as they are going through the 30-day challenge and the 90-day masterclass. Do we have any questions on this?
So is there going to be, well, after we do that little assessment of ourselves, I guess I'm probably looking at some feedback, or are we going to have opportunity to get some feedback on that?
Yeah, yes. So, like I
Hmm.
said, I'm going to post that worksheet in the master classroom. You know, it should be a fillable PDF. So you don't have to print it out. You can answer the questions and kind of do your assessment. Well, to be honest with you, I don't think this worksheet is fillable, but you can still maybe take out a piece of paper or pull up a note program, and you can still kind of still do the assessment.
Okay.
But but after you go through it, like I said, come back to the master classroom and ask me any questions you want.
All right.
Because here's the beautiful part about this. I am a life coach. This is still in my wheelhouse. And I've told you guys before that as you are developing yourself into being a professional trader, if you're really putting in the work, fine tuning your trade craft, you're not just going to be a better trader, you're going to be a better human being. The way that I do it, the way that I'm programming you guys, the way that I am developing you guys, I'm not just making you a better trader. If you're doing everything you're supposed to do with your mentality, your psychology, your perspective, your mindset, you're not just going to become a better trader, you're going to become a better person. And you're going to see yourself elevate in other areas of your life. You're going to be a better parent. You're going to be a better sibling. You're going to be a better partner, a better father, a better mother, a better employee, a better boss. Every walk of life is going to elevate yourself if you're developing your psychology with what I'm going to teach you. So hopefully you find that level of success as well. I want to welcome Eric, Desha, Sylvester into the room on YouTube. Welcome, guys. Um, I hope you guys are also taking the 30-day challenge. You can go to cheetahInvestors.com/YouTube, and you can find the challenge. The challenge is on my Instagram, the challenge is on my TikTok, the challenge is on my LinkedIn. I'm also doing the challenge on X Social and Pinterest and all of that. But primarily, if you want to see the challenge, if you want to start this, good morning, Willie. You as well, my friend. I want to see everybody take the challenge. So go to my Instagram, Cheetah Investors. You can find it on Instagram. You can find it on TikTok. I want everybody to take the 30-day challenge. And you guys are in my WhatsApp. You are my students. I don't want you guys to think that I kicked you out. No, 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 no. Come back to WhatsApp and ask me questions about the 30-day challenge. That's what this whole thing is about, to show that you are still my students. I still want you guys to succeed. So Sylvester, Willie, and I'm not sure if Eric is a student. I see you a lot, Eric. But all of my students go through the 30-day challenge and then reach out to me on WhatsApp if you have any questions. All right. I want to thank you guys for showing up. We're back on YouTube. I try to go to LinkedIn. I try to go to different routes. Nothing worked. So we're for the foreseeable future, we will be back on YouTube. I will be broadcasting somewhere around 7:30, 7:45, most likely 7:45. So I want to welcome everybody back. If you ever have any questions, you can go to cheetahInvestors.com/YouTube. All right, guys. Um, there was something else that I wanted to go over. What was it? Willie says he's having trouble getting in. Willie always has trouble getting in. I don't know why. Willie, go to WhatsApp and go to the. Give me a second. Why will he say he has trouble getting in? I'm gonna send you the login manually. Willie, give me a second. Look forward to Willie. All right, good enough. All right, let me see. Something else I wanted to go over.
Thanks, Aaron. I'm in now.
Perfect. Thank you. Mm. I am completely having a brain seizure. Like I can't remember what I wanted to do. Oh, okay, wait a minute. The other things. This week we have other events. So today at 5 p.m., that's what it was. If you look at the calendar, today at 5 p.m., today is the 4th. Yeah. So today after hours, we're gonna have the Google Q4. All right. And then that's gonna affect the markets the following day on the 5th. All right. Does everybody see this? Google's doing their Q4 after hours. So I would monitor the stock market around 6:30ish, and you should see the markets move. After our movement, you should see the markets move around 6 o'clock, 6:30. But you're really gonna see the markets react the following day, either at 8:30 or at 9:30 tomorrow. So we will be discussing this again tomorrow morning. We're gonna analyze Google tomorrow morning, but we're gonna let this Q4 report comes out after hours first. And then later on this week on Thursday, Amazon's Q4 reports come out on Thursday. So once again, we're going to let that happen on Thursday. And then that Friday morning, we're going to discuss the Amazon Q4 report. All right. But that's what's happening this week with the events. So there are 2 trading events. Like I said, guys, I want everybody to make money. That every student that's in the Zoom, my purpose is for you guys to make money. And then once again, maybe you have the money to trade, and maybe you say, you know what, Aaron, I don't want to trade the Google. I don't want to trade the Amazon. So simulate it. You're not required to trade every single thing. I want to give you the opportunity to, but do not feel obligation to trade every single thing. Some things you may want to simulate, some things you may want to use the contract ladder for. But this is what we're going over. Our schedule this week. We're going to analyze the Google Q4 Wednesday morning. We're going to analyze the Amazon Q4 Thursday morning, as well as um, that unemployment report. These are the three things on our schedule this week. All right. I'm still looking for a secret session. Hopefully I can get that. I do know that we have, I think, a NVIDIA event sometime soon. I'm gonna give you guys the heads up because I want you to get your money ready because that's where the real trade comes in. These corporate releases. So I will be having a secret session sometime. Um, I think if not next week, the week after, there is going to be a NVIDIA secret session. But believe me, I'm monitoring the Tesla. I'm monitoring the Microsoft. I'm monitoring this DeepSeek, which we're monitoring everything. There's a lot of things that are. It's not making it difficult, but we're looking for a clean sale, right? We're looking for wins on the sales, no choppy waters. But there are so many things that are happening in the stock market, in the economy, in politics, where we're getting the choppy waters. I'm hoping that we can, clean sailing, but it doesn't seem to be working that way. But the final destination is not changing. The vehicle that we're using is not changing. 5IR, AI wars, we're still using those metrics. We just got to deal with the choppy waters. And then we wait for the markets to calm down. We wait for the waters to calm down. And then that's when we really put our money in the proper place. All right. But just want to kind of give you guys a heads up that there are trading opportunities this week, that Wednesday morning, that Friday morning. Just be prepared. Um, I'll keep you guys updated because last week we had something that came up that affected the markets. I thought we were going to have a really good bullish Friday last week, and then it didn't happen. Something's always coming up, choppy waters. And that's the beautiful thing about our student room, that if you guys come across events and you guys are consistent with your posting, I want to thank you for really participating in that student room, giving the articles, giving the different videos, and allowing everybody to learn stuff because we're missing things. That's the beautiful part about our community. Um, we don't we don't give stock tips, but the beautiful part about not being able to see everything is that if we have all of these people in the community out there looking, when we come across something, post it in the student room. And that's really going to help us see a lot better things that we might miss. And I also don't mind you guys giving your perspective as well. We have a very, very powerful student room. And I don't want to minimize it. Let's keep that going. All right, let's go back to current events. I know there was some more stuff. I'm going to try to get off of here by 8:30. Because I want to monitor these markets to see if I really think the markets are going to be bearish today, but let me go to see. I like Reuters, but Reuters doesn't always let me look at the articles. So
Hey, Aaron, can I ask you a question?
sure,
I know you told us to watch, pay a lot more attention to CNN, but I find myself paying a lot more attention to, is it Yahoo Finance? Is there like a big difference in the two?
give me the two platforms again.
I know you said pay attention to, oh, not CNN, I'm sorry. Um, Bloomberg,
Yeah.
Bloomberg. But I find myself watching more of Yahoo Finance.
Okay. Here's the thing. Yahoo Finance for the most part is unbiased,
Yeah.
and that's all I care about. If you want to
Okay.
use Yahoo Finance videos, I think even there's another platform that also is like an online version that also kind of does that. So yeah, as long as it's unbiased. But we know
Okay.
we know the biased platforms, Fox Business,
Yes.
CNBC, CNN. You know, you're gonna get the data, but it's gonna be twisted.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
No, no problem. And even myself. So even when I'm going through my Bloomberg, even when I'm going through my Bloomberg, after I watch Bloomberg, sometimes Bloomberg may be having a tangent. Maybe they brought in an interviewer and they're not really discussing current events. So I will go, because keep in mind you can get all this stuff on YouTube. So I'll go to YouTube. Let's look it up. Let me show it to you. That's a really good question. So let's go that route. Let's go to YouTube, and I can show you all the lives. I'm gonna put in stock market live, stock market news live, and they'll give them. They usually give them all. So there's the Bloomberg. That's the Yahoo Finance. Um, one of the um one of the trading platforms. Can anybody help me out with this? There's a trading platform. I think it's.
Do you have it on the screen? Because I can't see it.
Thank you for that. Which one of the trading platforms has their own news? Does anybody
Yahoo?
remember? No, no, no. It's like TD. I think it's TD.
Ameritrade? You mean
Ameritrade. I think Ameritrade has had their own live.
which is Schwab now, right? They
Schwab.
all
That's it.
combined.
Yeah, I think that's
Charles
it. Schwab.
Schwab.
Schwab has their own live as well. So, like I said, Schwab is not going to be biased. They just say, here's the news, here's the events, here's what's going to happen, here's how it's going to affect the markets. So yeah, you can go to YouTube and find all of these. As long as it's unbiased. That's my whole thing. And then obviously what I taught you yesterday was look up any information, any keywords, any topics, anything that you don't understand, anything that you are not familiar with, you can come out here. But I do find that these platforms, CNBC, CNN, Fox Business, very biased. Now, here's another one, Al Jazeera, unbiased. This is one of the few international news platforms, unbiased. If you want to know what's happening around the world, Al Jazeera. And here it is. They have the live version. But most of you are looking for U.S. Markets, so Al Jazeera is not going to be your first initial kind of live you want to go to. But if you want to get a larger perspective on what's happening around the globe, Al Jazeera is the place to go. Very unbiased. But Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, and the Schwab. And I'm going to put in Schwab because I don't see it up here. I never spell Schwab right. Never spell it right. I never spell Schwab right. I'm missing the H. I'm missing the H. Where's the H go? That's not it. Oh, it's SH. Is that no? I still got it rest. SCH.
Yes.
That it? Here it is. So there's the unbiased. Even Schwab has their own network live. All right. And these are the places you want to go to get unbiased information about the markets. All right. Be careful because there are some of these little local lives. And I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now how you can tell. With these little local live places, I'm going to give you the keywords to look for. If they are talking about options, if they're talking about Forex, if they're talking about crypto, walk away. Because I'm going to load one up. Like this one right here talking about a playbook. Don't touch it. This is called Benzinga. Don't touch it. So those are the platforms on YouTube that you can get the live to get the unbiased information. And then once again, reviewing from yesterday, we want to watch those, number one, for current events that we can apply to our markets. Because keep in mind, also yesterday, our competence, right? So I told you to select a market based on your competence. So you should already have a default. So when you go out, your default is, okay, is this in my wheelhouse? And then once again, we're expanding our circle of competence by going to look it up on Investopedia, and there's a couple of other platforms that I'm going to give you in the master classroom. All right. And you wanna follow those lives, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to them, because what's going to happen is if you should be able to see my screen over here to the left, you see all my subscriptions. You see my Schwab. You see the Bloomberg. So all of your lives will show up in your subscriptions where you can click and find them very quickly. So you should go and subscribe to all of them so you have them quick access. Now there was I want to go one more place. What was
Are
it?
you gonna put that in the student room? All the places that we can go to?
The list of all the lives?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'll do it as soon as this thing is over.
Okay, thank you.
And when I put them, I'm gonna put the links. I'm
Okay.
gonna go get the links on YouTube and then post all of them.
Appreciate you.
I got you, my friend. There was another platform. Well, let's look at Bloomberg. Let's see what Bloomberg has. China hits back with tariffs. We already seen this one. We knew that was coming. And like I said, it's just how it has to happen. That's how the geopolitics work. It has to happen. What other thing do you want the other country to do? They have to answer back in kind. So sure enough, China hits back with their tariffs. You're most likely going to see some kind of meeting between them. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Let me see if there's any other major events. Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. So check this out. We got to talk about this, guys. This is going to be the final thing we talk about. So last week, Trump does the ICE raids, right? And I don't know if you guys know what they were doing. They were setting little traps. So a lot of these immigrants were doing things correctly. They were registered. And then by being registered, they had to meet with whatever the department was, whatever the liaison was. I don't know how the ICE, department works, but you have a check-in. You have to go check in periodically, like once a month, if you are here illegally. But if you're registered correctly, they assign you some kind of a worker, a social worker, and you have to check in at least once a month, right? These are the people that did it correctly, right? So what ICE did was they notified all of those immigrants to do their check-in. And when everybody showed up for their check-in, they arrested them. What's the point of doing it correctly? They arrested everybody that showed up for the check-in. Now, here's the interesting part. Has anybody seen Con Air? Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Okay, so basically there's this airplane that they ship criminals around, right? So Trump, in Trump fashion, loads up all of these immigrants onto a F-15. Like, this thing is high military. It looks like an aircraft carrier with wings. This thing is huge. and they loaded up all of the immigrants inside this military helicopter, and they sent them back to Mexico, and they sent them back to Colombia. Does anybody know what happened?
They
Does
refused to
anybody?
let them land. They
They
refused to
wouldn't
let
let
them
them
land.
land.
Hmm.
And they're
So,
suing.
oh, I know, but let's clarify this, right? Because two things. Number one, if you're going to have something organized, if you're telling that I'm going to get this and I'm going to do this, wouldn't you have the entire infrastructure set up? Wouldn't you already have a plan on the other side that they're going to accept the people? You spend all that money, especially with a military helicopter, to fly over all that way, and then they get rejected and they have to come back. Isn't that the first thing you're going to do? Set up the infrastructure? Now, the other side of that, think about the whole DEI thing, right? And then think about somebody hearing about that you're allowing these people to do their check-in and then arresting them. So do you think that the leader of Colombia agrees with those tactics? Do you think the leader of Mexico agrees with those tactics? That's the reason why they rejected them. No, sir, we're not playing this game with you. But
And
here's the no, go ahead.
he's not trying to protect the American citizens. Somebody made a comment. I'm like, are you got to be kidding me? Please clarify that.
The
Yeah,
only thing I wondered about it was, okay, was this just politics? I mean, because
Exactly.
you know it's gonna blow up. So is this just to get some pub
well,
behind?
well,
I don't. Nothing else makes
Satisfy,
sense.
well, check.
satisfy the base.
Well, yeah. Well, remember I said sometimes he initiates something knowing it's not going to work, but he can blame it on that other person. But check this out, because I thought that was the same thing with this as well. But check this out. I saw a news report either last night or this morning. Check this out, guys. Trump made a deal with El Salvador to take any immigrants. So think about this. You got people that came to America from Colombia and they got rejected. You got people that came to America from Mexico and got rejected. And we know they're coming from all other countries as well, even the Middle East, even China, even, Africa, whatever it is. They're coming through the Canadian and the Mexican border, which is what the tariff thing is about. He was telling them to tighten up the borders. That was the whole point. That was the leverage of the tariffs. Tighten up your borders. But now he's got a deal with El Salvador that El Salvador will take anybody. So can you imagine El Salvador is going to get an influx of all of these immigrants from over the world? Now, does anybody know the highlight? I get that's not even the word. Does anybody know what El Salvador is famous for right now? What is El Salvador doing?
Bitcoin currency.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, but there's something that they're doing
The
with their
prisoners,
law enforcement.
they put all the gangs in the prison,
There
cleaned
you
up
go.
the whole
And
place.
they got a prison system that you can't break out. So it's very interesting that Trump makes a deal with probably the most strongest is the word, the strongest law enforcement. They're locking up entire cartels of people. And once you go in that prison, you don't come out. Not a 23-hour lockdown. So I feel bad for all of those immigrants. They probably want to go back to Colombia and Mexico right now, because if they go to El Salvador, they're done. And this is it right here. U.S. deports Indian migrants as Trump follows through with threats. And keep in mind, these are the Native Americans. Remember I said some of the I can't remember the tribe that I talked about last week that they got mixed in. Oh no. This is actually India. This is not Native American. They're saying India. I take that back. But this also what I was saying, that a lot of different people are coming across that border. A lot of people are coming across the Canadian and Mexican border that are not from South America. That are not from Central America. That are not from Mexico. They're coming from Asia and Europe and Africa. And all of those people will end up in El Salvador. Now, have you guys seen the TikTok videos that there's a new acronym for MAGA? Mexicans aren't going anywhere. Because after they deported the Mexicans last week, those people were back at their jobs on Monday. And they were on social media saying thank you for the vacation. And even the employers just gave them time off. They wrote it off as vacation time. And a lot of the immigrants in Mexico that was deported, they were literally back at their job on Monday. MAGA, Mexicans aren't going anywhere. I thought that was hilarious. Ridiculous. But this is where we are with that. I did want to mention it, especially that whole El Salvador thing, because that is huge. And think about this, guys. You're basically taking people who are innocent, that are weak. You know, they don't have training on guns and fighting, and now they're sticking them in a highly dangerous prison. And that's why I say I feel bad for these people. I feel bad for these people. And the
So
sad
usually, Aaron, that's like created to make a lot of noise so they can do something else. What are we not seeing?
Well, you know what? That's a good point. So I posted it in the WhatsApp yesterday. Remember, I said that Trump is not the real president. There is somebody behind him. Let me show you who it is. I found out who it is. Heritage Foundation. This is the power behind Trump's presidency.
Yes.
Heritage Foundation. And they have a sister organization called Heritage Action. And the majority of the people that Trump is putting in positions are coming from Heritage. All of these different cabinet positions are Heritage Foundation members.
Well, not only that, but they've had over the last several years a huge influence on all of the federal judges, including the Supreme Court.
I agree with I agree with it.
That's where the list comes from. You
Yep.
you don't go anywhere else. You go to their list.
Yep. So and then here's the funniest part is that during his campaign, people were asking him about Project 2025, and he was like, I don't know what that is. I never heard that before. And then now they got a full website for it. And everything that they're doing, you know, getting rid of the DEI, getting rid of all those holidays, the disabled holiday, the veteran holiday, the Asian, Indian, African American, women's, all of those things are out. This is Project 2025. Before, we don't know what that is. Now they got a full website on the Heritage website about Project 2025. So this is the people that are all of these different programs, all these different decisions, all these different executive orders are coming from this. So I did a deep dive into this. I did post a couple of links in the WhatsApp. You guys can check that out. I think I put it in the student room. So if you want to kind of go through your own, go down the rabbit hole on any of that, but that's the answer. The Heritage Foundation and the Heritage Action. Let me put a Heritage Action. Make sure that was correct. Yeah, Heritage Action of America. And here's the other part. They are the super PAC. All of the money for all of they are the lobbyists. They are the super PACs. They are the lobbies. They're the ones that pay. Remember, I told you that a congressman only makes about $200,000 a year, but they come out of office with millions. That's because of Heritage Foundation. They're the ones paying off the congressmen and the Supreme Court. All right, we're gonna leave it
So
there, guys. Go ahead. No, any final questions?
no, so you talking about taking advantage of American citizen, and that's at its best.
Well, yeah, like I said, we're going by the programs and the decisions that are being made. They're attacking everybody, and that's the reason why I can talk about this, because number one, it's not political, and number two, I'm not even saying it's a black thing. They're attacking disabled and veterans,
Yep.
women. This is not a race thing. They're attacking women and other nationalities, other ethnicities. Nobody's safe. Well, there's one group that's safe, but
Right
every
now.
other group is not safe.
Yep.
So I wanted to leave you guys with that. Like, I like giving you guys these current events, and then you can kind of go down the rabbit hole. You also may want to look up U.S. aid. That's also something that's trending right now if you want to kind of do a deep dive on U.S. aid. And then, like I said, whatever you come up with, go ahead and put it in the student room, and then we can kind of dialogue a little bit. But we're going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to be posting the worksheets in the masterclass. I'm going to post those live news broadcasts in the masterclass. If you guys got any questions on day 2, go ahead and put that in the masterclass as well. If you're not in the masterclass, we're still in the 30-day challenge, so you can still ask questions in the student room as well. The masterclass doesn't really take off until we get into the second 30 days. But all the worksheets, all of the different stuff, that's only for the subscribers. But believe me, we're still in the 30-day challenge. So please, 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 if you have any questions on the 30-day challenge and these days that we're going through, I would love to hear from you in the student room as well. All right. If I don't see you guys in WhatsApp today, I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning around 7:15 Eastern time. All right. I want to thank everybody on Zoom. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. I want everybody to be safe. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Enjoy your day, guys. Thanks so much.